Ready. Play.
Pablo, it's just 24 hours since the news broke.
We are ready. Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que me retiro del tenis profesional.
But I think this is going to be running for quite a few weeks, months, and maybe even longer. I want to get what was your initial feeling when you heard the news of Rafa Nadal's retirement?
Well, I was a little bit sad. I think, Rafa for Spain as a country, for tennis as a sport, and for the whole society, I think he has been an example. And it's sad that he will be no longer on TV. We won't see him playing those unbelievable matches. But that was my initial feeling. But now, after 24 hours, I have to say that I'm happy, I'm honored, and I'm just fortunate to have him as a friend and to have been able to know him since we were 11, because we're same age.
Yeah, right.
And of course, as I said, to me he's been an unbelievable reference and a great example, not only as a tennis player.
What do you remember of him when he was 11 and you were 11 as well?
He was already the best. There were like 4 or 5 guys. 3 of us made it to the top 100: Marcel Granollers, Rafa, and me. And he had something special. And when he was 14, he was not playing with us anymore. He was playing 16, and he still won and beat the top guys under 16, right? So he's always been special, but he's always been humble as well. And I think that's the real, the real achievement of Rafa, is that he has never changed. He's always been humble. He's always been sensitive to anything that happens to the people around him, or to whatever tragedy. He's always very sensitive. And I think, he as a human being, he's such a nice person, a great human being.
You played him 4 times on the ATP tour. What was it like to receive the ball, like a massive forehand? What was it like to receive that ball?
Well, I have to say that when Rafa started, he was practicing full power, and then when he was playing a little bit more defensive, right?
Okay.
So what I felt when I was practicing with him in some games, in some matches, in some sets where we practiced, that was unbelievable. That was the best forehand and the most powerful strokes that I have ever played against. But he was able to play with more control, and even like that, his ball was so powerful that he didn't miss. So it was really difficult to play against him, and yeah, he has. I mean, the data is there, right, and the statistics are there, and he's been the best in the history in clay court, at least in clay court.
Yeah. So you played him 4 times, 3 times, the first 3 on clay, and then finally on hard court in Acapulco. One of those, of course, came at Roland Garros, which was a straight set loss. But you did have, as you just mentioned to me, in Rio, you had match points, you said, right?
Yes, a couple of them.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you remember about those 2 match
But-
points? Any regrets?
No, because actually I don't remember what that point was. I cannot remember if he made an ace, or if I made an easy mistake. I don't know. But I remember the atmosphere, right?
Okay.
Rio de Janeiro,
Yeah.
they are very noisy, unbelievable atmosphere. And it was like semifinals, really, really nice. And probably the best match I've ever played on tour. And I lost,
Yeah.
right? So that's how good he is. The way, yeah.
The match at Roland Garros was on Philippe Chatrier?
That was in Susan Lenglen. That
Okay.
was a second round match. He was I was 5-1 up in the third set.
Okay.
40 love.
It's too good. Pablo Andujar. You would think just beating him for pace. 5-1 lead for him now in the third. Just can't do a thing wrong. He's guessing right, executing perfectly. It's all too easy. 3 set points.
And he beat me 7-6.
He's a tough hombre, isn't he? Just refuses to quit.
So that's, his mentality, the way he tried to play every point as if it was the last one. That's the greatness that he had. And if I played against another guy, I'm sure in the 5-1, I put the first serve like this and he would go, okay, I tanked this point, right?
Yeah.
But not him, not him.
You retired yourself a year ago. I mean, how difficult was that decision for you?
Listen, that was an easy one,
Okay.
an easy one. Since the last 3 years, I had been already studying and trying to, to find a way to finish my career and then start another chapter of my life. And this is one. That's why you're here as a tournament director in this challenger here in Valencia. But not only that, I've been studying finance and I'm doing an MBA right now. I'm in the board of the ATP, so I have several important things that I'm trying to work on, and it was just something that it had to happen, right? So I didn't think that much. As soon as I was out of the top 100, I made that decision. I have 4 kids. I was also a little bit tired of flying, so many travels. That's an important and a very tough one in our sport. So yeah, so it was an easy one.
Ready. Play.
So I'm here, and we've had a bit of big news today, obviously, with the retirement of Rafa. I just spoke to you in Spanish briefly. I'd like you to tell me, first of all, what was your reaction to the news?
Well, first of all, I think the first reaction was a little bit sad because, for every fan of tennis, try to accept that Rafa is not going to play more the next year and this is going to be the last tournament in the Davis Cup. I think it's very, very sad news and very emotional news for every tennis fan.
What about your experience with him? I mean, you said you've never played against him in singles, and you haven't even had the chance, unfortunately, to practice with him, but you did have one experience, right?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I didn't have like a lot of experiences with him, unlucky, but I had the chance, like maybe 9-10 years ago. I played against him one doubles in one Spanish national championship in his academy.
Okay.
In Rafa Nadal Academy. Obviously, we lost 6-2. Was
Who were you playing with?
I was playing with Zapata Miralles,
Uh-huh.
and we play against Rafa and Marc Lopez.
Okay.
So that year they won the Olympic. And it's like Rafa was preparing for the next season, and I think was the season he lost in the final against Federer in Australia. Like
Okay,
he was
2016
playing good again. So for me, I was like so nervous before the match, and was amazing to share the court with him.
Tell me about playing against him there. I mean, were you giving Marc Lopez a few more balls?
Yeah, it's like we tried.
Sorry, Marc.
We try. Marc was also a monster, and of course, so much better than us. But we try to play a little bit more to Marc, but also at the same time was like nice to play to Rafa, to try to play with him. You know, like I want to feel the ball of Rafa was like a little bit funny, a little bit strange, but so nice.
Tell us about that ball, so especially the forehand that's so famous. Tell us about the reception of that ball.
Well, in terms of being in the volley, I mean, I'm not the number. I mean, I'm not top in the volley stand, but it's so difficult to return from the volley position because the ball is with that spin that is killing you. You know, it's not coming flat. Of course, it's coming like. I don't know if you like the football, the Jabulani ballon in the World Cup 2010. It's like the effect is so dangerous. And also I remember I was in the volley and he hit me one banana like crazy thing. Like you are expecting for that shot, but it's like you cannot stop. So it's amazing.
Thank you. Okay, just two questions for you, Pedro. One is your immediate reaction to the news that Rafa is retiring.
Well, I think we all were thinking about it during the last year, but we didn't know exactly the moment. So now he decided to do it in Malaga. I wish him the very best to end his career at the best way possible.
Do you have any experience with him, either practice or anything else that you could tell us
A couple
about?
of practice during his career, and we were sharing this year the apartment in the Olympic Games. So it was nice. That's the closer that I was to him.
Tell us about just one more. Tell us about that experience with him and everything else at the Olympics.
Well, we had a couple of conversations. It was interesting sharing these moments with him. I saw him also preparing for the matches. We had a hit on center court this year as well, so it was quite nice.
Great, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are ready. Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que me retiro del tenis profesional.
Rafael Nadal.
Y la realidad es que han sido unos años difíciles, estos dos últimos especialmente. Creo que no he sido capaz de jugar sin limitaciones. Es una decisión que evidentemente es difícil, que me ha llevado tiempo tomarla, pero en esta vida pues todo tiene un principio y un final y creo que es el momento adecuado para poner punto y final a lo que ha sido una carrera larga y mucho más exitosa de lo que jamás me hubiera podido imaginar. Pero me hace muchísima ilusión que mi último torneo sea la final de la Copa Davis y representando a mi país. Creo que es cerrar el círculo, ya que una de mis primeras grandes alegrías como tenista profesional pues fue la final de Sevilla en 2004. Me siento un súper afortunado por todas las cosas que he podido vivir. Quiero agradecer a toda la industria del tenis, todas las personas que engloban este deporte, mis compañeros durante tantos años, especialmente a mis grandes rivales. He pasado muchísimas horas con ellos y he vivido muchos momentos que voy a recordar por el resto de mi vida. Hablar de mi equipo se me hace un poquito más difícil, ¿no? Porque al final mi equipo ha sido una parte muy importante de mi vida. No son trabajadores, son amigos y han estado a mi lado en todos los momentos que realmente los he necesitado, ¿no? Momentos muy malos, momentos muy buenos, momentos que me han tenido que apretar, momentos que han tenido que aflojar. Hemos vivido tanto juntos que es difícil de explicar. La familia lo es todo para mí, ¿no? Mi madre creo que ha hecho todos los sacrificios que tenía que hacer para que nosotros siempre lo tuviéramos todo, ¿no? Y mi mujer, Mary, llevamos 19 años juntos. Gracias por todo lo que has hecho. Creo que has sido mi compañera de viaje perfecta durante todos estos años de carrera, ¿no? Volver a casa y ver cada día cómo está creciendo mi hijo, pues ha sido una fuerza que realmente me ha mantenido vivo y con la energía necesaria para continuar. Mi hermana, creo que hemos mantenido siempre una relación increíble. Mi tío, que es la razón por la que empecé a jugar a tenis. Creo que gracias a él he podido también superar muchas situaciones que han sido difíciles en mi carrera deportiva. Y a mi padre, ¿no? Que creo que para mí ha sido una fuente de inspiración en todos los sentidos. Creo que ha sido un ejemplo de esfuerzo, de superación. Muchísimas gracias a mi padre de manera muy, muy especial. Y por último, vosotros, los aficionados. No tengo manera de agradeceros lo que me habéis hecho sentir. Me habéis dado la energía que he necesitado en cada momento. Realmente todo lo que he vivido pues, ha sido un sueño hecho realidad. Me voy con la tranquilidad absoluta de haber dado el máximo, de haberme esforzado en todos los sentidos. Solo puedo terminar diciendo 1000 gracias a todos y hasta pronto.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.